Shalom, shalom, Israel. Shalom to the Torah Shaz Yasha Allah, giving course all honor, glory, and praise unto Yahawah, BAHSHAM, YAHAWASHI. That is all praises, honor, and glorification unto the Most High God Yahweh, in the name of His only begotten Son, Mahashiach, YAHAWASHI, the righteous. All right, shalom, shalom. So in this video, we'll be doing things a little bit different. This video, of course, everything's for the edification of the saints. Right, but this video will be going into how it feels to be 17 in this truth. You know, how does it feel to be 17 in this truth? And I'm currently 17 years old. I'm about to turn 18. I make this video before I turn 18. I figured I'd make this video before I turn 18. So all praises to the Most High God. I've been in the truth for about around 3 years now. Around 3 years. It came in when I was 14. This, I would say about the fall, like autumn of 2018, around September, October. So around there, that's when I came into this truth. So it's been about 3 years. I've been knowing the faith. I've been in the faith. The Most High has brought me in through His grace, through His mercy. Being a minor in this truth, you know, and of course, is according to this man's society, Esau society. You know, if you're under 18, you considered a minor, and when you turn 18, now you're considered an adult. Well, that's not necessarily in the scriptures, but of course, in this society, that's how it's run this way. And being a minor in this truth, it definitely does have its pros and its cons. One of the pros would be, you know, being able to, you know, rely on, or you have to be, well, I can see it, you could see it as a pro and a con. You could see it as a pro and a con. You have to rely on someone else. It's just that how this man set up, you know, how Esau set up the society. If you're a minor under 18, you have to rely on somebody to get by. So, you know, you have to live with your parents, etc., etc. And so that could be either a pro or a con. If your parents are in the world and they hate the Most High and they hate the truth, they hate Yahawah, like how the Lord said, that's going to cause division, right? Let's get that precept. This is the book of Matthew. This is the book of Matthew, chapter 10, and verse, let's go to Matthew 10, and verse 34. Think not that I'm come, right? This is Matthew chapter 10 and verse 34. Think not that I'm come to send peace on earth. I came not to send peace, but a sword. For I am come to set a man at variance against his father, and the daughter against her mother, and the daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law. So the Lord actually came to set that in place. You know, so if you are a so-called teenager or a kid in this truth, you're very young in this truth, and you're still living with your parents, and your parents, you know, are in the world, and they have problems with you keeping the commandments and loving Yahawah, you know, the Lord actually prophesied that that was going to happen. That the Lord has come to actually give division within the households. That's the sword that the Lord came with. And that's why in this truth, it's hard. You know, it's hard dealing with parents or worldly family members that may be in the world and we're stuck with. Verse 36. And a man's foes shall be a day of his own household. So a man's foes will be of her own house, you know, whether that foe might be your mom, it might be your dad, it might be your older brother, it might be your younger brother, it might be your older sister, you know. But if you are living with somebody else, you're dependent on those people, because you cannot be self-sustaining, because, you know, you're a minor, so-called. You just have to deal with that, and that's the lot that the Lord gave us, right? That's the lot that the Lord gave us. Of course, I have, you know, basically my father. And my father is in the truth, all praise to the Most High, and my brother and my sister, but not my mom. You see that? So that's that vision, the vision that the Lord has already prophesied was going to happen. And of course, there's problems with that. There's problems that come with that, you know, conflict in the household. But the Lord already said that that was going to happen, right? So we're not tripping too much. Verse 37. He that loveth father or mother more than me is not worthy of me, and he that loveth son of daughter more than me is not worthy of me. He that taketh not his cross and followeth after me is not worthy of me. Okay, so let's go to Luke chapter 12, verse 45. Or Salakia 49. Luke 12 and 49. And it reads, I am come to send fire on the earth, and what will I, if it ought to be kindled? So the Lord came to send fire on the earth. And that fire, there's two folds to that. One fold would be talking about the affliction that the Lord came, going into the sword, right? I have not come to send peace, but a sword. And that sword going into the division amongst the households and whatnot. But all the trials and afflictions that we have to go through as servants of the Most High. It says, I am come to send fire on the earth, and what will I, if it ought to be kindled? But I have a baptism to be baptized with, and how am I straight until it be accomplished? Suppose ye that I'm come to give peace on earth? I tell you nay, but rather division. So the Lord said it right then and there. It's plain upon tables. The Lord came to set division in the earth, right? From henceforth there shall be 5 in one house, divided, 3 against 2, 2 against 3. The father shall be divided against the son, and the son against the father, the mother against the daughter, and the daughter against the mother-in-law against her daughter-in-law, and the daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law. So these things happen, okay? Division amongst the households. Maybe you're a so-called teenager in this truth, but you're living with worldly family members, and you have to deal with them. That's the lot that the Lord gave us, all right? That's the lot that the Lord gave us. And we, as servants of the Most High, have to endure that thing until we have the means of moving out or whatever, or, you know, however the Lord deals with it and whatever the Lord has in store for us, right? Another thing I want to talk about is with being young in this truth, the Lord has really allowed me to increase in wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. And whenever, you know, or when I'm with my brother, whatever, or it's just me, when I go into the highways and byways, people commend me for my wisdom. And they are astonished at that, because they are astonished at the wisdom that they hear from me, being as young that I am, you know. And I just give all credit to the Most High. I just give all praise to the Most High, because it's not of me. I did not ever imagine being in this truth when I was in the world. I never imagined myself when I sat down, you know, when I was young as a kid, and I was thinking about where would I be if I'm 16, 17, 18. I never thought that I'll be in this truth. It's not of my own admission. It's the Lord, right? The Lord did it. It's all the Lord. He has allowed me to increase in this wisdom, knowledge, understanding. This, you know, reading the Bible, reading the wisdom within it, you know, people are astonished at it. And they're astonished at young Jake's, you know, a young, you know, how they would say, so-called black person preaching the word, you know, and knowing as much as I do know about all this different stuff, and how my thinking is on a different level than other individuals who are my age. Now, that's, of course, that's all praises to the Most High God, and nothing of myself, right? It's nothing of myself, but let's get some precepts. This is the book of Psalms, chapter 8, verse 2. Like I said, you know, I'm just a vessel. I'm just a vessel. And it's really a testimony, too, because I'm like a walking testimony. You're a walking testimony in this truth, if you're in this truth. If you love the Most High, and you have came from sin to righteousness, or into the path to the kingdom, hey, you are a living testimony. And this just shows you, by me being in this truth, being 17, not worried about this damn, you know, not being caught up with the affairs of this life, it's really just proof that the Most High exists and that this Bible is real. Let's go to the book of Psalms, chapter 8, verse 2. Out of the mouth of babes and sucklings hast thou ordained strength, because of thine adversaries, because of thine enemies, that thou mightest steal the enemy and the avenger. So out of the mouth of babes and sucklings hast thou ordained strength. Hey, I'll be considered a babe, right? I'll be considered a babe, a child, you know what I'm saying? By certain people. I know someone said, you know, I was trying to teach the word, and then someone was like, you know, hey, you know, you can't tell me nothing, youngin', right? And so that's the thing. But certain people, when they see the wisdom that the Lord has given me, they, you know, they commend me for it, but really the Most High should be commended. Because remember, it's not of myself. It's not of myself, you know. And that's another thing, being young in this truth. You know, a lot of people, they are astonished at that, and they really praise the Most High, because it's really the Most High raising up the weak things out of the world to confound the wise. Right? It's like in 1 Corinthians chapter 1. 1 Corinthians chapter 1 and verse 27. But God hath chosen the foolish things of the world to confound the wise, and God hath chosen the weak things of the world to confound the things which are mighty. And base things of the world and things which are despised have God chosen, yea, and things which are not, to bring to naught things that are. You see that? Things that are not. You know, if I was in the world, I would just be another wicked, you know, lost Jake. You know what I'm saying? In the world, most likely, right? But the Most High has allowed me to come into the truth, because you raised up the weak things of the world. Now, if the Lord is raising up all these young men to confound older people, you know what I'm saying? To raise up other young people, that shows you that the Most High is real. And that shows you the power of the Lord right there. And hey, the Lord, he could have gave the wisdom and knowledge, understanding to just elders. You know what I'm saying? But that will make more sense. It would make more sense for an elder to be spitting this wisdom. But to see a young man, right, to see a young individual spitting wisdom and knowledge and understanding that people, even older people, don't even know. Elderly people don't even know, right? That shows you the power of the Most High. And that shows you, and it's a living testimony that the Lord is real. So, I want to talk about school as well. Of course, I go to school, go to high school, and all throughout high school, I've been in the truth. So, dealing with people who are in the world at school, it's just like how we, or people, adults, have to deal with people in the world at jobs or whatever the case may be. We have to deal with people in the world. That just is inevitable. And but how we deal with them, that's the stuff that we can control. You know, we can't control just not dealing with them at all, but we can control how we deal with them. The Lord talks about in the book of Colossians chapter 4 verse 5, walk in wisdom toward them that are without, redeeming the time. So, or with these people that's in the world, we just have to be circumspect with everything that we say, how we operate, how we move, and being that light. Okay? So that means wearing fringes. That's being the light, you know, at school. You know, you talking about the scriptures at school. That's being that light. You edifying. Because school can be a pro and a con in this truth. School is a distraction. It can be a distraction. But school can also be profitable, because it can teach you certain aspects of time management. It can teach you certain aspects that you can use, you know, that are profitable in this truth, that you can use to your own advantage. That's why I use school for what I take it with a grain of salt. So I take the good and, I take the good and kind of leave the bad there, right? Just take the good things that this man's school system can provide to you, because it can. Okay, like AP classes. When AP classes, they actually, for example, I take AP English classes. And that has allowed me to help actually with the scriptures, because it deals with reading comprehension. It deals with all these different types of literary devices, which are found in the scriptures, like symbolism. That's found in the scriptures. Similes, metaphors, etc., etc. All these types of things, they can actually teach you, and you can use that to your own advantage. You know, how to speak, all these things for the edification of the body. So you can use the word but not abuse it. That's 1 Corinthians 7 and 31. But if we're going to damn football games on Friday night, if we are being too caught up into the school, if we're spending too much school time and not giving that time to the Lord, then something's wrong, right? If we let school distract us from actually serving the Most High, something is wrong. So we have to keep that in mind as well. It says, and they that use this world as not abusing it, for the fashion of this world passeth away. So the fashion of this world is going to pass away. And though we use the world, we do not abuse the world. Same thing with school. Same thing with school, right? We use school, but we don't abuse it, all right? So use it to your own advantage. Take the good things that it has to offer you and apply it to this truth, man, you know, for the edification of the body. And when you're dealing with people at school, in the world, like I said, don't talk too much, you know what I'm saying? We shouldn't be talking too much all the time, right? If you talk less problems are going to come to you. And if you know how to operate, you know, we can read about how our forefathers dealt with people in the world, you know. We can read about that. We can, you know, just pray for the Lord, pray to the Lord for the spirit of discernment and wisdom and knowledge and understanding, you know. All this stuff we can pray for. And the Lord, and whatever burdens that we may have, we can cast them to the Lord. That's 1 Peter chapter 5. You know, verses, I believe, 7 on down. So I guess we're drawing to the end of this video, and that's really all, you know, that I really had. I didn't want to make this too long, but just talking about stuff that doesn't really get talked about too much, you know, in the world of Israel. Being, you know, young in this truth, because we do have youngins, right, in this truth. We got to stick together, because the Lord said, I have written unto you young men, because you are strong, right? That's in the book of 1 John chapter 2. Right, and that in Proverbs, let's get this real quick in the book of Proverbs. Proverbs chapter 20 and verse 29. The glory of young men is their strength, and the beauty of old men is the gray head. So the glory of young men is their strength. You young in this truth, right? It doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman. You young in this truth, and you are strong, and the Lord says you're strong, man, right? The Lord said that you're strong because there's a lot of distractions in the world. There's a lot of distractions in the world, and, you know, when you're young, those distractions are really, really heavy on us. Demons, spirits, all that stuff. We have to put on the whole armor of the Most High. So the Lord called us into this truth being young, man. Hey, Samuel ministered unto the Lord being a child, as the scriptures state. You know, Daniel, he started his ministry at a very young age. YAHAWASHI was young, right? He began his ministry at 12 years old in the book of Luke chapter 2, but then he had to go back with Joseph and Mary, right? He was asking questions. He had the knowledge, he had the wisdom at 12 years old, you know, but he went back, and then when he, of course, when he became 30, that's when he really started, but he was literally doing the work at 12 years old, you know. So likewise, we can do that too. If Yahawashi did it, and our other forefathers did it, we can do it, man. Through the Spirit and power, Yahawah BAHSHAM. So Lord willing, this is edifying. Lord willing, you know, this may have exhorted a brother, a sister, whatever. And, you know, all praises to the Most High God, the water, Yahawah BAHSHAM, Yahawah for this truth, man. Kwam Yashala. Shalom.